Hi everyone, just got back from a baseball card show and wanted to show you guys some of the things I picked up. The show was in Trumbull, Connecticut, March 23rd. This is I think the second or third time I've been to this show, and it's a little bit on the smaller side, but I always seem to find things I need there, so it all overall works out pretty good. And their next show at this location is April 27th. So if you're, happen to be in the area, definitely come check it out. And not a whole lot of variety to really show you. Some of you may know I've been working on finishing up some of my 1973 Topps baseball card sets, just to kind of get them out of the way. Something that has kind of been lingering for years, and I've been meaning to spend some time just getting some of them completed. I was originally just working on one set that I only needed just a very small handful of cards, and I had about 15,000 other singles, so I decided to see what I would need to put together a second and third set, and it turned out I really didn't need too many. So at today's show I was able to pick up 55 cards that I needed for my second and third set. My first set's complete. The last card I ended up picking up for that was the last checklist card in the set, card number 588, which is a pretty difficult card to come by, without anything checked off on it. So no ink, and those cards are also a little bit difficult to get centered. So like I said, I picked up 55 cards, not all different, because I needed some of the same cards in my second and third set. But after picking these up, my second set, I'm down to needing only 8 more cards to complete that one, and my third set, I'm down to needing 30 cards. So 38 cards total that I'll be looking for to finish, to have 3 complete 1973 Topps sets. And then, then I'll have, like I said, I have about 13 to 15,000 singles. So I'll probably be either breaking those up into lots or selling them individually. Not really too sure yet how I'm going to go about that. I got to reach out to a couple people that I know are working on that same set and see what they need so I can get those cards sent out to them. But today I just wanted to show you what I picked up. I ended up picking up 2 of the corrugated cardboard boxes that are the 660 count. So this way I have boxes that are kind of designed for my second and third set. My first set's in a binder, so I'm not really concerned about that one. So I picked up a couple of those boxes. They were, $1 a piece. There's a couple that are always there at a lot of the shows in my area that do all the supplies and everything. I also picked up some 6x9 top loaders, which I needed because I collect non-sports cards, vintage style. And I actually picked up a couple cards that are pretty rare. It was almost to a point where I didn't even know if they even existed. I saw it kind of listed in a catalog, but that was about it, and there wasn't any information on them, and it didn't even say, there was a question mark as to how many different designs even are out there. It's just unknown, which is one of those things that you deal with when you deal with a lot of the much older vintage cards. There's a lot of unknowns. So I picked those up just because they're oversized cards, and I want to keep them in good condition. So But what I ended up picking up, I ended up finding another checklist, which I needed, card number 588. I do need one more of these for my third set. But as you can see, this one, it's very off-center, and this is what I was talking about with this particular card. They're just hard to find centered, and they're hard to find centered without anything checked off. But I ended up getting this at a really good price. I think it was only a few bucks, like $2 or $3. So very fair price, considering that, because I actually see this similar card, in a condition like this, going for like $15 or more on eBay. So not necessarily a card I may upgrade this one at some point, but I just wanted to pick it up to get it out of the way for at least one of the sets. And then some of these are just some, not the high numbers, not the 5th series, but I believe the 4th series cards. And there was only a few, maybe 10 cards or so in the 4th series that I needed. Basically some commons. So not really anybody, in particular that, of any value, or high value, I should say. So these were like $1 a piece. Let me come into some, one of the better players, Phil Necro. And, a nice centered card and everything. Semi-high number 503. Bobby Valentine. Couple Walter Johnsons. I needed it for my second and third set, so I was able to, knock that card out. Cy Young, Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig. We have another, I believe this is like more of a common. It was just one I needed for my third set, I believe. And this was the only team card I think I needed for all the sets, so I don't have to worry about team cards anymore. So this is the last one of those. Another, I would consider a common, Willie McCovey. So it's more of a star card. So there's a little bit more money involved in these, and they were all different prices. I didn't really keep track of what the prices were, but overall very fair pricing. It's just nice to be able to finally get around to putting these sets together and getting them finished, so I can I don't have to think about doing that. Here's a Johnny Bench, a couple Jim Palmers that I needed, boyhood photos. They're also known as the Young series. So there's like I think maybe 8 different ones I think in the set. There's another checklist that I needed, checklist 338. And they're just very hard to come by sometimes. It seems like all the checklists that you get are literally checked off, which is what they were meant for, so it's not surprising. There's a Billy Martin manager card, a couple Lou Brocks, Steve Carlton, 2 Al Kalines, Tommy John, a couple Yastrzemskis, 2 Jim Hunters, 2 Joe Morgans. As you can see, my second and third set was missing some of the star players, but I basically had all the commons. Al Oliver, I'm not really sure if he's got any more of a value than I would put this more in the commons type of a pile. You got a Nolan Ryan, Steve Garvey, Bob Gibson. Yeah, so like I said, overall, decent shape. They're definitely, not mint condition sets that I'm putting together. And 73 tops. If anybody has ever tried working on one of these sets, centering seems to always be an issue with these cards. And it wasn't my intention to try to put together, a high condition set. Even my first set, the corners are fuzzy. They're not, they're not all perfect cards. They're not all centered. Just overall decent cards. If I had to give it a grade, I would say on average maybe excellent condition. Few cards maybe lower grade, a few cards probably higher grade. But just overall, just a nice set in a condition where you can still enjoy the set and not have to worry about hurting any of the cards or anything like that. You got Jim Palmer, Earl Weaver, manager card, Brooks Robinson, Rowley Fingers, and then we got some of the leader cards. This one's probably the best or the most expensive out of the leader cards, just because of the Nolan Ryan. But you got a Steve Carlton Nolan Ryan combo card, which is a pretty good combo of players. Two great players. Got Johnny Bench on this one. It's another checklist. This is the first checklist in the set, number 54. Willie Davis, which I believe this is more of a common. And the last one I'll show you, Buddy Bell. Rookie Gold Cup card. And to me, this is like a common, but it's not priced like a common. And it's surprising, like over the years, how things change, and certain cards that go from the commons pile to say considered like a minor star or rookie, that it goes from like the commons to a top loader. It's interesting over the years how I've seen that, and that's one of the reasons. Another reason why I'm just like trying to get this small project out of the way. Get some of these sets put together, and like I said, so I just don't have to think about it. I do spend a lot of my time focusing on the T206 set, and so this way, once I get some of these, what I consider more common sets completed, and I don't have to worry about, wondering what card I might need, I can go around to the different tables and focus more on, the vintage, and that's where, I tend to enjoy the hobby nowadays. This is fun too, bringing a checklist with me, to the show, and, finding the cards and checking them off. It brings back a lot of the memories from, when I first started collecting, before computers and all the eBay stuff and all that was involved. So, that part of it is nice and everything, but, my main focus is T206s and other vintage cards that are around that time period. But, like I said, I just wanted to show you what I picked up today, and I got 38 more cards total until I'm complete with the 3 different 1973 top sets. So I got another show tomorrow, March 24th, which I'm planning on going to, and I'll see if I can maybe knock off a few more of those cards. And appreciate you guys watching the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely hit the subscribe button. I do videos on vintage cards, different card shows, coin shows, talk about postage stamp collecting, comic books, all different types of things. Alright, so I appreciate you spending some time with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.